Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.
Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, what a show, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. So good to see you, Miss Poppy. Hello.
You too, Peggy.
Susan Spicer.
Hi.
Of course, she is the proprietor of Rosedale Restaurant and co-proprietor of Bayona Restaurants. Wonderful to see you. Thank you for being here. Yep. And making his Steppin Out debut, Christian Scott aTunde Joie, and he is actually from New Orleans, but he is with us today from L.A. Five-time Grammy nominee. We could spend the whole half hour talking with just Christian, but we're going to be talking about the Prospect 5 exhibits, the gala, and his career. Welcome, Christian. And Noka grad and Noka alum. All right. And Lydia Blackmore, live from the French Quarter. And she is the curator for the Historic New Orleans Collection's new exhibit, Making Mardi Gras, and you're in the middle of one of the exhibit spaces, aren't you? In the gallery.
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. We're going to talk about
you'll see some of our gallery visitors behind
Very
me.
good, very good. And Alan Smason, of course. Hey. And good Alan, as we well know, is editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com. Poppy, we lost a beloved chef from our more recent past.
Yes, we did. Goffredo Fraccaro, of course, famous for his restaurant La Riviera that he opened up in 1970. He passed away Tuesday morning at the age of 96. And of course, a big part of his legacy will continue in the Chef's Charity for Children, the annual event for St. Michael's Special School that he helped start in 1978. So our condolences to his family. 96, what an accomplishment. And now, I've got some really big scoop. I am perhaps one of the first people who are going to take you on a tour of the new Wetland Sake Taproom. Now, this is a project, this locally made sake. This business got started a couple of years ago by Nan Wallace and Lindsay Brower. And they are crafting out of Louisiana-grown rice. They're working hard to even have the rice milled in Louisiana, but it is a totally local product that they are brewing up there right off of Tchoupitoulas on Orange Street. And they make traditional filtered and unfiltered, sparkling passion fruit and blood orange. But what you are seeing here is their new tap room that just very quietly opened last week. Now, Lindsay Brower is part of that Brennan's Next Generation that was involved with the opening of the commissary. And the commissary is adjacent. They are right there together. And so there's going to be beautiful, delicious treats to have from the commissary while you are enjoying the fresh sake on tap, along with small batch sake cocktail infusions, along with all the fresh sake they make on tap. They'll also have, right now, it's espresso sakatinis, blueberry, lemon, and a sake smash. They're open Wednesdays and Thursdays from 4 until 9, Friday to Saturday, 4 till 10. It's a great new space, and you can see the sake production going on while you're visiting the tap room and having a little cocktail. Now, We have made such big news over all the fancy new hotel openings that I'm afraid it is overdue time to give a big salute to the Windsor Court. And the Polo Club Lounge has just had a little refresh. They're going to be opening up on Saturday again. And I just wanted to point out what a wonderful, special place this is to visit. You know, the menu for the Polo Lounge is extraordinary. Of course, there's a delicious burger and charcuterie, but oh my goodness, they've got fancy schmancy caviar service, but they also have a dish, potatoes dauphine with creme fraiche and caviar. How about 24-karat gold wings? And I think it's a great idea to go visit the Polo Club Lounge after dinner, no matter where else you might be dining. Their desserts are incredible, and look how fabulous that is. Perhaps the best churro I've ever had, making a play on cigars. They can come dusted with raspberry or cinnamon sugar, and they all come with that warm dipping sauce. So beat a quick path down to the Polo Lounge and have a little cocktail and have a little treat. You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, Poppy. And they also often have live music, so it's very special, a piano. Thank you. And moving over to Alan, and, you know, with all the challenges, God bless anybody who mounts a play these days, huh?
That's true. And I did want to also, like Poppy had some sad news at the top, we have some sad news for the theater community. Those of you out there who know Stephen Rizzo, he passed away, and we wanted to acknowledge him. Stephen's been a big supporter of theater, and of course, we all know him with many of his associations with Ricky Graham. So again, he was 65. We will miss him. He had a number of different things that he had done in involvement with theater, so we certainly wanted to acknowledge his passing. Yes, and to get back to what you were saying, Rivertown Theaters, they have a current production of Cabaret on the boards, and some historic firsts with this production, a perennial crowd pleaser by John Kander and Fred Ebb, because this is featuring a live band that's the first in some time at Rivertown, with the talented musical director, of course, Jefferson Turner, conducting an 8-member ensemble. It's also the directorial debut of Bryce Slocum, who shows a really sharp eye for detail in this production, a very more daring and avant-garde approach than ever for a Rivertown show. There's so much to like about this show, though. The songs from John Kander and Fred Ebb are among the best, and to add that, the live band, the fantastic costumes, the excellent lighting, and the stunning set design, you will love it. Make no mistake at all, this is Jake Wynn Wilson's show. He takes the audience on a wild, sexually charged, and hedonistic ride in his role as the MC. He sings with great emotion and precision, and his magnificent frame and chiseled features are eye-pleasing to all the men and the ladies. His androgynous costuming also emphasizes the fact that this is not your grandfather's MC. This production of Cabaret also continues a conscious path towards diversity and inclusion with its non-traditional casting of Chloe Marie in the leading role of Sally Bowles. Sally, of course, is a tragic character who sings her way into some of the show's best numbers like Mine Hair, Don't Tell Mama, Cabaret, and Maybe This Time. Now, Matthew Rates plays the pretty American boy who's attracted to both Sally Bowles and several of the boys who hang out at the Kit Kat Club, projected with confidence on stage. He's a central character swept up in the times. He tries to find a way to kind of fix Sally, but they are both sort of spinning out of control, as is the country. The most tender exposition, though, is, of course, Ricky Graham as Herr Schultz, a Jewish fruit merchant who is approaching an unmarried rooming house owner, Fraulein Schneider, played by Laura Reinigal. As usual, Ricky plays his role to perfection, and their duet of It Couldn't Please Me More, a Pineapple, is one of the show's highlights. The show's book is by Joe Masteroff. It shows the plight of the assimilated Jews living in 1930s Berlin, who were the ultimate victims of the Nazis, and that apathetic Germans allowed this Holocaust to take place. A quick shout out also to Mandy Mueller, Emily Bagwell, and newcomer Aaron Brewer for their supporting work. Meanwhile, a show was postponed last year, if you remember, Peggy, at the World War II Museum's BB Stage Door Canteen, and that was this World's Greatest Johnny Cash Experience with Terry Lee Goffee. Well, guess what? It's finally coming back. We'll get a chance to see The Man in Black as performed by Terry Lee Goffee. And again, we hopefully, you'll get a chance to see him. I'll have a review on that coming up. And lastly, there is a comedy behind the drama of a child beauty pageant that's coming up at Pageant Play. It's on the boards now at Cutting Edge Theater in Slidell. Who will win that title of Supreme Queen? Will Pinky's daughter, Chevrolet, carry the day? We'll find out.
Okay.
I'll check it out at the Cutting Edge Theater in Slidell.
All right, thank you so much. And moving over to Susan Spicer, and we're so thrilled. Susan, you have long been so kind to be involved with WYES's Season of Good Taste meals. And the good news, this is a fundraising event, is that we're sold out for that dinner on the 25th. There is a wait list, okay? And of course, folks should go to Rosedale anyway and enjoy it. And you even brought a dish that's going to be on that special meal. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of the courses that we're gonna, let's see, I'm not
You want to
sure.
lift it up a little bit here? Yeah, there we go. Yes, okay.
All right, so
go.
it's potato pancakes, otherwise known as latkes. And we're doing some house smoked trout with sour cream that's going to have a little caviar in it and some crispy leeks. There's leeks in the latkes and then crispy leeks on top. And some other goodies on there, some herbs and things. So.
Sounds good. So once again, you can go to WYES.org and put your name on the wait list, or just go and enjoy Rosedale. Also, though, we would be, and we're going to show some pictures, of course, Rosedale. Now, how long have you had Rosedale?
We're actually in our 7th year. It's gone fast.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I can't believe
right
it.
off Canal Boulevard, along the, not too far from the train tracks. And yeah, it's an interesting location, isn't it? And tell me about this such beautiful woodwork. Didn't somebody you know do that?
Yes, as a matter of fact. My husband, Chip, Poppy must have given that away. Chip Martinson with Monkey with a Fez is the name of his business down in the Bywater. He's got a workshop down there. And my nephew Jonas is the manager, the front of house manager at Rosedale, and he's done a lot of work sprucing up our beautiful patio. So we we have patio dining year-round because we have heaters and cooling, and it's really nice. It's a nice space looking out onto the railroad tracks. So our motto is hard to find, easy to get to.
Exactly. And I actually have dined outside. It's very, very pleasant. Now, moving into the quarter from Lakeview to the quarter, much a little fancier, of course, Bayona and your historic 1700s cottage, and that's a little bit of a different, a little bit more formal dining, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say a little bit fancier.
Yeah.
A few more bells and whistles, and we're in our, I think, 30. Let's see, we'll be celebrating 32 years.
Congratulations. Jeez.
Yeah, or maybe even 33 years. It opened in 1990, and so still beautiful and continuing the tradition. Chef Candace Kerner is doing a great job. She was my chef at Mondo. The beloved Mondo that I sold a few years ago that people still mourn. But Candace did a great job there, and she's actually stepped up really, really well, and her menus are just fantastic. So and she's got a lot of the old crew, so she's doing great.
Without being too gushy, how long you been chefing?
Since 1979 is when I started cooking with Danielle Bonneau back back at the Louis XVI.
You still look like a little kid.
Oh, yeah, really.
Well, thank you so much, though. It's so much fun to have you here, and you're really a step away at WYES.
Yeah, not far.
And Rosedale, we so love and appreciate that connection. And now, though, before we visit with Christian, here is an excerpt from his original composition, Incarnation. Christian, this is one of your many compositions, and congratulations. I understand you have 5 Grammy nominations, but Prospect 5, this is why you're here primarily, and of course to visit with us, but the citywide exhibit, you are actually going to be the star at the gala, but it's already sold out, so the price of success here. But I love the fact that the theme for Prospect 5 is from a line of one of your albums. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Tell us about that. What is yesterday, you said tomorrow? Focus on that for us.
It's a moment, where we're reevaluating what's important to move forward. And it's really about embracing the opportunity that we all have when we wake up to try and do better. This was a term that my grandfather, the late Big Chief Donald Harrison Sr., he used to use to my twin brother Kyle and I when we were small. Anytime we were procrastinating at something that he knew had value or was really important in that moment, he'd always say, yesterday you said tomorrow. And for our group, we made this record in 2010, and this was a moment where we were reevaluating a lot of what it was that we were seeing in our social spaces, having to continue to have arguments about gender, having to have arguments about race, having to have arguments about the utility of these sort of feelings being superimposed onto groups for no reason. Those things didn't make so much sense to us, so we wanted to title a record based in our opportunity to try and do better and to move forward as a full community.
Well, I think that it's so flattering that they took those words, and this has been an enormous exhibit every 3 years, Prospect, this time 5. It's amazing it's been that many, but congratulations. I think that's a high honor, and I know, as you said, you're going to be performing, at the gala. But also, tell us about your website and how we can find out more about you.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you. So my website is chiefadjuah.com or christianscott.tv.
Okay.
You can go there and learn a myriad of things about what we're up to, everything from creating new prototype musical instruments, the Adjuah trumpet, Chief Adjuah bow, these sort of things, to our app company. We have an app company called Stretch Music and a record label, but we created the first interactive media player for recordings maybe 6 years ago. And there's a lot of different things to dig into. If you head to the website, you see everything from me dressed out in the ceremonial regalia of the Black tribes to these new instruments and hear new stretch music sound.
Yeah, so, and congratulations, because you do have your own tribe. And as you said, your grandfather, of course, was the head of his own tribe, your uncle, too, Donald Harrison Jr. What an honor, and I know that's a lot of hard work, too. But congratulations, and we're so glad you're on. And also, you're a NOCA alum. We cannot not say that, okay? How proud you must be. And then you went on to study at the Berklee School of Music, so congratulations for all your success. Yay. Would love to have you back, okay? Thank you. And now over to the Historic New Orleans Collection at 520 Royal. Lydia, you have a brand new exhibit celebrating Mardi Gras.
Yes, Making Mardi Gras opened at the Historic New Orleans Collection on January 6th, and it's open through May 8th. It is an investigation into the burst of creativity that happens across New Orleans during the carnival season, from Black massing cultures to walking crews and the marching bands and the crew balls and parades, the specialty throws, and even the crew of house floats. It's all here in the exhibition.
I love that. And of course, that's going to last through May, but you're also going to be having a symposium about Carnival. And so you can go actually to the website, hnoc.org, to get more information. I know originally, of course, you wanted to do that live and in person, but you will be doing that virtually this year, won't you?
Yes, we will be doing the symposium virtually. We'll be releasing each segment of the symposium throughout the run of the exhibition, and it allows us to tie some of the releases to key dates throughout the season.
Very good. And once again, what a deal. This is a free admission. You go, and it'd be great to reserve your tickets online, but you can go and see a celebration of Carnival. There's some amazing Jules Kahn footage of some of the second lines. And tell us about, of course, that Black Indian incredible suit. Whose was that? Who created that?
Yes, the suit behind me was made by Chief Howard Miller of the Creole Wild West for 2018. It is an incredible piece. I love, especially the apron is a depiction of the Zulu tramps. So it's kind of tying together two different aspects of African American carnival celebration with the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club and black masking traditions. And it's just such an eye-popping piece with his sequins and 10 feet of red feathers.
Well, also, how tall is he? Because I saw this in person. I was amazed. Isn't he very tall?
He's fairly tall himself. He's about 6'4".
Yeah.
So
the costume certainly indicates that as well. Well, good luck with all of that. Lydia, we'll come back to you in just a bit, but now time to go back to Poppy.
It's king cake time, and I promised every week we'd have a little king cake update. And this week we're going to be talking about coffee science. I was at the Crescent City Farmers Market, their Sunday market at City Park, and there was Tom Oliver and his crew. Of course, simultaneously, their Mid-City market is happening over at Coffee Science on Broad Street. And oh my goodness, they're so proud of their baking program, and they well should be. Their king cakes are outrageous. 3 flavors this year. There's chocolate espresso, there's a Venetian cream. Of course, that's the coffee that Tom first helped popularize at Caldi's, and there's a berries and cream. Coffee Science is there 7 days a week from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. You can pre-order king cakes. You can stop by and pick them up on the weekends anytime. They have a liquor license, and so they actually have a happy hour at the coffee shop on Fridays from 5 until 8. And then I wanted to also shout out to Bywater Bakery, right there on the corner of Dauphine and Independence down in the Bywater. They are making their 6 favorite flavored king cakes again this year, which of course includes that chantilly and a lemon cream, a blueberry, a cheesecake. But new this year is their brownie bomb and Bywater Bourbon Cinnamon Swirl. This is a vegan king cake. It's made with a sweet potato dough, and it's crafted using 7.3 Distilling's Bywater Bourbon. So what a great hostess gift. You could bring, you'd be very welcome with a king cake and a bottle of bourbon. And I also want to point out that Bywater Bakery is one of the few places where you can go and test drive those king cakes because you can get it by the slice.
Ooh, what a great idea. Okay. Thank you so much, Poppy. And moving back over to Alan.
Well, you know, Monday, the 17th, is going to be the observance for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And in conjunction with that, I wanted to invite several of our local black theater makers to join me on a celebration over the NOLA Theater Talk Show. So we're going to have 2 of my guests who will be there. And here's a beautiful picture of the 2 of them together. Tommye Myrick, who has an upcoming production of Fly. We'll talk about that, about the Tuskegee Airmen. And of course, Anthony Bean, who has a brand new rehearsal space. We'll be talking about that. So there's a lot of, of social protests that happened during the pandemic, calls for more equity, diversity, and inclusivity. So we're going to talk about all of that on the NOLA Theater Talk Show. And then on the following Monday, we'll have Dane Rhodes of Sandy Rhodes Productions' upcoming production of Clue, along with several of the cast members. So we're looking forward to that as well. So again, if you want to check it out at the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, or my own YouTube channel, that's where you can check that out. And speaking of Clue, again, just a little bit more about that. It's going to be at the Terrytown Country Club. Next weekend it opens at 1785 Carroll Sue Parkway. If you want to, there's a buffet at 7 o'clock and then the show at 8:15. And then, of course, on Sundays, if not on Friday and Saturday, you can go on Sunday and you can check out the buffet starting at 11:30 a.m. and then the show starts promptly at 1:30 p.m. Now, coming up, there is a show that I wanted to let everybody know about at the University of New Orleans. And I can't show you the poster, but you can just imagine what it says. But it's The Stupid Blank Bird by Aaron Posner. It's basically a takeoff on Chekhov's The Seagull. So you can imagine it's a comedy. And so it's not intended to be, let's say, a little titillating there because of the fact that they're trying to be, provocative. They're really trying to be a little bit more silly. And I believe it will be a lot of fun at the Robert Neal Williams Theater. Again, that'll be playing from the 4th through the 12th of February, so keep that in mind. Finally, a week off for Seth Rudetsky means his return Sunday with Christy Altomare. You may not know, Christy was the original Anastasia in the musical on Broadway, Anastasia. And guess what? Tickets go on sale tomorrow for that at the Sanger Theater. So if you want to hear how good the songs are from Anastasia, tune into the Seth concert series to hear Christy Altomare. And of course, next week, Ciara Renee. We'll check that out as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Alan. Now time for our picks. Poppy.
At Bouree on Carrollton Avenue, Nathaniel Zimmett's Wing and Daiquiri Shop. That is an outlet for Dong Fong king cakes this year, and they've got a king cake daiquiri. I suggest you get a gallon to go.
I think that sounds great. Susan.
Oh, man. Love those coffee science guys. But Bayona's starting up the Saturday lunch again, which we did for many, many years. But this time it's a more like a wine tasting 4-course prefix luncheon. So this week I think they're doing wines from Spain and a menu to match. So check it out on the Bayona website.
All right, sounds like so much fun. Thank you. Christian.
Yeah, so on the 23rd of this month, we're going to have a moment for kids where we're going to do a mini master class in informants for children to show them some stretch music. So from 10 to 12 at Studio B, if you guys are around, come down.
Okay, and that's, of course, in Bywater. Wonderful place in Bywater. Thank you. Lydia.
Yeah, down in the quarter, if you visit our Williams Research Center, you can see Fit for a King, which is an exhibition about our role as the repository for the archive of the Rex organization.
That's right. All kinds of really cool things. Look at that Rex Ball invitation from 1890. It's amazing because all that is extremely fragile, and yet it still exists. It hasn't fallen apart. I'm sure it's well taken care of. And one of the early doubloons, the first doubloon, actually. Yes, and that's at the Williams Research Center on Charter Street. Thank you so much, Lydia. Alan.
Well, I want to let everybody know about the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra. You know, they're having that wonderful Tank of the Bangas concert tonight, but next week they pick up back with the classics. And listen to this, they're going to have the Elgar Enigma Variations, but also it's the premiere for Tulane University music professor Courtney Bryan's work, Sanctum. Sanctum, of course, draws from the Black Lives Matter experience. It deals with police violence, and it also incorporates different kinds of audio passages and images of the victims and all kinds of things. It's going to be at the Orpheum Theater next week, and again, I hope that people will check that out on the 20th of January, and I'll see you at the theater.
Thank you, Alan. And the Contemporary Arts Center presents a Martin Luther King Jr. celebration on Monday, his birthday, from noon to 4. Included will be music, free gallery admission to the Prospect 5 exhibit, which is closing soon, an interactive altar, and a panel discussion on the role of the matriarchy, family, and community in activism. For more details, go to cacno.org. And I hope that you will join me every Tuesday from now through Mardi Gras Day itself for what we're calling a Carnival Close-Up. Each week I'll share a favorite item from my very own collection of Mardi Gras stuff, memorabilia, and give some of its history. You'll find a new segment each Tuesday on WYES's Facebook page. Carnival Close-Up will also be on WYES's YouTube channel too. Thank you all so very much. Thank you very much for being with us, y'all, and thank you for watching. Good night.
Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.